All right, good morning. Everybody hear me okay? Yeah. All right, so this is the Math 5, elementary statistics. Hang on, let me just let these people in. Since we are doing Zoom sessions this week, let me go over a couple of things, okay, about the Zoom sessions. Let me let these people in here. So the link that I sent you last week is to, get into the Zoom sessions. Now, next week, I mean, not next week, but the Thursday session will be, link will be under the announcement. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So if you go to your announcement, you will see the Zoom link, okay, for the Thursday here, just like the one that I gave you today. And that's the same thing. Now, since we have a holiday next week, Monday, and I was told that we are following Monday schedule next Tuesday, so we are not going to have class next Tuesday. So as of now, we're going to see each other in person next Thursday. Okay, so that's what the schedule is. Unless I receive something else from the school by the end of this week, Zoom sessions is just going to be this week, okay? And the when we meet Thursday next week, if there is anything that you want to talk to me about, then you can talk to me next Thursday. If you have something that you cannot take care of this online, all right? While we are here in Canvas, I want to go over a couple of things for you to get familiar with the Canvas. Your assignments, I will be going over the syllabus in a minute. There are two things that you will, not two things, but extra credit assignments. So this is the where you have to, either take a picture or, a PDF format or something. And you'll have to, when we do the exercises in class, whether it's online or in, during the regular class. And if I ask you to submit the files or your work, it's going to be here, extra credit assignments. Your screen may be different because, I'm a teacher, so I have everything in there, but, in your screen, it may be different, but still the same thing. You'll have to go to a extra credit assignment. We have 4 of them here, but each extra credit assignment is going to be due on the day of the exam, okay? So whatever I ask you to submit it's going to be down here. Now, right now, your extra credit assignments is weighted at 2%. So now, if you don't have to submit the extra credit assignments, it's not going to hurt you. Okay, it's not part of the regular grade. But if you do submit everything that I ask you to, then you will get a boost. Right now it's a 2%, but I don't know, maybe it will go up to 3, 4. I mean, it's very significant. It's a percentage, not actually points. So if you have like 88% at the end of the semester and you do all the extra credit assignment, you get another 2%, you get 90%. So that will probably give you A rather than B. So it will make a significant difference, but it does not count toward your regular grade. So it's not mandatory that, these assignments you have to do. But if you do submit it, then you will get extra credit there. You can check your progress when you go to the grades. Now remember, I have everybody here. So you will see that, your progress, okay, on the grades. And if you go to the files, I'm gonna go to the files over here. And there are some folders that I want you to go look at. So here's the lecture notes. This is the very similar to the actual textbook. I'm going to talk about textbook in a few minutes. But you can actually access your lecture notes. This is more like a condensed version of your textbook. I kind of rewrote it, things that I want to talk about. So everything is going to be there. And the next one is going to be formulas and tables. So if you don't have physical textbook, or if you have already have the My Math Lab or My Stat Lab, is there. Or if you cannot find anything, you can just download this and print it and use it, because we're going to have to use this often. Okay, without this formulas and tables, you won't be able to pass this class. So you're going to have to download it or have at least access to it. Okay. And then I have a syllabus there. Then I have in-class assignments. So whatever we do, the exercises, all the files that I want you to look at, it's going to be here. Okay. So sometimes I upload it ahead of time, like today. I have a couple of exercises that we are going to do. Sometimes I don't use them, but sometimes I do. So if you need to look at, this is where you're going to find those exercises here. So we will be doing 2 exercises today, and I will tell you which one later on. Okay. And then I have a practice exam here. So whenever we have exam, I want you to go here and download it and go through these practice exams. Your actual exam is going to be very similar, same in the format, same type of questions. So if you do well on this practice exam, then you can feel pretty good about what's coming up in the actual exam. Okay. I don't really go over this practice exam, but if you have time and you went over this and you have questions, you can always bring it to the class and we can go over them together. Okay. Now, having said that, these practice exams are just the guidelines. Not necessarily it's going to be exactly the same, but like I said, the format wise, the type of questions, I would say they are like 90% similar to the actual exams. Okay, so you might want to look at these before you come to take the test. The last folder will be a take-home exam. So this is going to be the take-home exam number 4. It's going to be a take-home. I will give you I will talk about this in more detail, but there will be a one take-home exam. That's going to be a exam number 4, but that exam has to be done using computer software, okay, stat software. So that's why it has to be a take-home exam. And you probably given like, I don't know, 3 days until like 7 days to finish and bring it back and upload it to to the take-home exam assignments. So we'll be talking about that as we approach to the end of the semester. And you don't want to miss that take-home exam portion of it. Okay, so that's pretty much what's happening and what's going on with the Canvas. Okay, now this is different from the My Stat Lab that I'm asking you to purchase, because sometimes I have students, I don't see any homework assignments in the Canvas. Well, it's not in Canvas, it's in My Stat Lab. So we'll talk about that when we get there. Okay. All right, so let's just go over the syllabus. I'm going to share my screen with the syllabus here. Now you can find the syllabus in the in Canvas as I just showed you here. Okay. All right, so this is the Math 5. Okay, we're going to be meeting in the Winter Hall 206 from 8 to 9:50. We're gonna have a break from like 8:50 to 9 o'clock. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. Prerequisite, only prerequisite that I'm asking you to have is high school algebra 2. Okay, so if you had that, then you should be fine. The only time that I really need you to have the prerequisite is when we get to the correlation and the regressions. Okay, so the first part of the well, until that time, if you have prerequisite, then it should be enough. Okay, but I do have some students struggling when we get to the correlation and regression part. So you might want to brush up on that before we get to that point. Okay. All right, let's look at the text. Now, text here is the Triola. Been using this for about over 15 years. The only thing, because these days, a lot of things are online and things like that. So I do not require physical textbook. You will need to purchase the My Stat Lab. I'm going to show you in a minute where you get this. And then when you purchase this, I don't know how much it is. When you purchase this, you will have all the access to the electronic books, all the other resources that you need to be successful in this class. So I'm going to show you what that is. I'll show you my share my screen here. So if you you just type coursecompass.com, okay, and then you will see the My Stat Lab screen here. So all you have to do here is that you need to purchase using the process here. So if you just click student, okay, and they're going to ask you if this is the first time that you're purchasing it, then you're going to need the email address and the instructor's course ID. And if you look at the syllabus, I provided the course ID. Okay, so I'm just going to show you here. Okay. So if you want to register, they're going to ask you a course ID. For this class is a YI, 02976. So if you click that, okay. So on the right-hand side, you will see that this is your class. Okay. And then if you already have an account, then you can just sign in. If this is the first time, then you'll have to create the account to get it, come to my classroom. And the, if you click this one, then they will ask you to provide, let me just do this, all this thing here. And then once you create the account, then they ask you to pay to purchase the My Stat Lab. Okay. So once you go through this process, once you log in, I'll show you. Okay. And what you're going to see is your screen may be different because, again, I'm teacher here. So if you click your classroom, then you will see, okay, the menus on the left-hand side. And as you can see that there's an e-text. Don't worry about all the other things. StatCrunch is something, like simulations. And the gradebook study plan is the compilation of all possible exercises that you can try here. So if you go to the e-text or chapter contents, it's exactly same as the physical textbook. They're identical. Okay. And the multimedia library, they give you all kinds of PowerPoint, animations and the video and things like that. So you can have those. Now, if you go to in my case, I'm going to course tools, then I'm going to assignment manager, but you're going to be having a homework there. So there is the homework assignments for this class here. So first, if you look at the assignment name under there, you'll have weekly homework assignments. At least for the first 4 weeks, you're going to have weekly assignments. So first one is going to be due on the 16th. Now, you're going to have, once the assignments are past due, you still can access them and go back and try the these questions, but you will have a 10% late penalty. Okay? So if you try after 10 days, you're not going to get any credit. So my suggestion here is that try to finish before the due date, and if that's not possible, try finish as soon as possible before you run out of any credit there. So then if you go down to the what is that, week 4, between week 4 and the week 5, now we have every 2 weeks, I think. Okay, 2 to 3 weeks before it is due. So I just want you to make sure that your homework assignments here at my stat lab, and your homework assignments are a significant portion of your grade, and you don't want to miss this. I have some students say, oh, I'm not going to do this. Then there's no way that you're going to pass this class. Okay, so I'm just asking you to, I guess, invest $100 to get a good grade in this class. So here's the assignments for you. These assignments are open, okay? And you can try as fast as you want, okay? There's no penalty for trying it early, but there will be a due date for you to complete, okay? So this is where you find the homework assignments. And the other things, as I mentioned, you can always try, different types of resources that you can find so that you can catch up with the class or any things that you need to be current with the class. There are some instances that sometimes the student will be asking me for extension. That will be if you have coronavirus or some athlete programs that you're in, or any type of things that you think you have a case, then you need to talk to me, then I'll let you have an extension there. Okay, so this is what the your assignments, homework assignments. So if you have any problems accessing it, just let me know. I can help you. Okay, so that's what that is. Okay. Let me go back to the syllabus here. Okay. Before we move on, as I mentioned, we are doing Zoom session this week, and the next Tuesday we are on Monday schedule. So we are going to meet face to face next Thursday. However, I need to go over the coronavirus because I don't know how long this thing's going to last, or what happens in case someone get test positive or something like that, or in my case I can be a test positive, right? So if you somehow tested and you tested positive, you need to let me know right away so I can make a decision whether we're going to have to move the session to a Zoom, or just keep on studying as face to face. So it is crucial that you let me know. Okay, save this is just for the safety of everyone in class. Okay, and yeah, myself. And if I get test positive, then that's definitely gonna be we're gonna have a Zoom sessions. Okay, but if you're athlete and you went to play some other school, then you came back, you test positive, then just send me an email saying that Professor E, I got a test positive, I can't come to class. And then I'll probably ask you a couple of questions. Were you contact with any other classmates or something like that? So then we will have to make a decision whether we're going to have a face-to-face class or move to the Zoom. Okay, so that's just the policy and school policy as well. Okay, so uh, I just want to make sure that we are on the same ground and safety for everyone in the class. Okay. As I mentioned, you don't really need the physical textbook, but Triola textbook, there are lots of old editions. So you can purchase maybe a couple of bucks on online. So if you really have to have a physical textbook, just buy an old edition if you want to. But that doesn't mean that you're going to have access to the MyStay lab. Okay, uh, that's just separate. You won't be able to access the MyStay lab if you purchase the old version. So uh, the only way that you can access the Stay lab is actually purchase it. Okay. Oh, I think if you're not sure, then the publisher gives you like 2 weeks free access. Okay, so without paying anything, you can have access to MyStella for 2 weeks. Now, one time I had a student who, okay, so I'm going to do the homework within 2 weeks. Well, that was a special case though, because this student took this class once already, and he kind of knew everything. So somehow he finished all this, course within 2 weeks, and then asked me to grade them. I mean, it's already been graded. So, but I don't suggest that you do that. But you will have a 2 weeks of access for free. Okay, then after that, if you don't pay it, then they took away the record of what you did. So I will not have any access to your progress. But if once you I guess once you pay them, then they give you back those progress that you have made since the beginning. Okay, so that's what's happening with the textbook here. Now, I know that sometimes I have students telling me that that's a little too expensive. Yeah, but I've been looking some other alternative sites, but they're not that good. It's just even though they are a little bit cheaper, but they're not that good. So that's why I'm sticking with the Marstella. Anyway, my name is Terence Yi. I'm a visiting professor. Okay, and here's my email address here and your phone number. And I do have office hours if we go back to the face to face. I have a Tuesday 12 to 1 and Friday 10:30 to 11:30. And my office is at Winters Hall 306. Okay. All right, so this is let's look at the course descriptions. This is the basic course of statistic. We are going to use the probability techniques, hypothesis testing, and the predictive techniques to facilitate decision making. Topics include exploring, describing, and comparing data, descriptive statistic, probability and sampling distribution, statistical inference, correlation, and linear regression analysis of variance, chi-square and t-test, an application of technology for statistical analysis, including the interpretation of the relevance of statistical findings, application using data from discipline, including business, social science, and psychology, life science, health science, and education. So I'm going to discuss a little bit about what we're going to cover this semester. So I'm going to switch my screen to whiteboard. Okay, so the first area that we will be covering is I'm going to use the circle here a little bit here. So we're going to talk about today and on Thursday, probably next week as well, but we're going to talk about the definitions and then the types of data, and the sampling data, so just the fundamental ideas of what statistic is, and I cannot put that over here, but we also have a frequency distribution of data. So this is just the basic understanding, like what is the sampling, what is the population and all that stuff that we're just going to talk about over here. And then we're going to move on to the what we call the descriptive statistic. So descriptive statistic is more like finding mean, median, mode, and measuring the position of the data, and those going to be fall into the descriptive statistics. Okay. Some of the ideas that we are going to discuss in descriptive statistics, you probably heard of or seen it before, like in high school or some other classes, but we'll talk about that in there. And then we'll talk about a little bit about probability. Okay, but not much. Okay. So this entire thing will be, you will be tested on in exam 1. Okay. We'll be going about the schedule in a minute, but so that's the first part. And then we're talking about the next one is the what we call statistical inference. Okay, so in this case, we will be talking about discrete distribution and the continuous distributions. So here we'll have discrete and the continuous distributions. So discrete distribution, we'll be talking about like binomial distribution, and continuous distribution, it will be a normal distribution, and this is going to be a big important part of this class. Okay. So this is going to be tested on exam number 2. Okay. And then we're going to move on to the what we call estimation and hypothesis testing. The estimation is simply, we don't know what's happening in the population, so we're going to look at the sample and we're going to make decision based on that sample here. Again, and hypothesis testing is going to be, somebody claims something. How do you prove or disapprove their claims? So this is going to be what we call, estimation hypothesis testing, and this is going to be on exam 3. And the last part will be the what we call correlation and regression. Over here, we'll have correlation, regression. So this is where the math comes in when we're talking about the regressions. And then we're talking about the one-way ANOVA. Okay. So we're going to use the STAT software extensively on these topics. This is why I ask you to take home exam 4. Okay, so those are the main topics. It's not what we call mathematically complicated, but it's a lot of you have to think a lot of questions and the problems. So statistics is simply the extension of word problems of a basic understanding of stats, because there's no plug and chug in the statistic. It's all about understanding the word problems and interpreting. Okay, so these are the areas. Let me go back to the syllabus. Okay, all right. So the course objective is that you will learn how to perform statistical calculation and analysis, and where statistics and probability are used and abused in everyday life. The class is application oriented, and the focus is on the details of analysis and the practical consequence of the analysis. So when you especially if you study psychology or social science or the biology, those areas, statistics are being used a lot. Okay, and the some of the applications that we are going to study is going to be many different areas. Okay? Applications will be made in many disciplines, including business, social science, and life science. Student learning outcome, you will be able to choose, calculate, and interpret appropriate statistic for describing central tendencies, spread of data set. We'll talk about that. Find the probabilities for application involving binomial distribution and normal distribution. And perform, interpret, and estimation of hypothesis testing procedure. And the regression analysis and analysis of variance using STAT software. Okay, so the grading is, as I mentioned, we're going to have 4 different MyStat lab homework, which is 30% toward your grade. We have 4 exams. You can drop the lowest. Okay, so we're talking about maybe about 16% of each exam. All right, close to it. That I said drop the lowest, so you won't be able to see which exam is going to get dropped until you complete the all 4 exams. Canvas automatically drop it. Okay, so if you decide not to take one of the exams and then you get 0, and that's the last, Canvas will drop that 0 exam. And the final will be 20%. So on the left-hand side, you have grading cutoff. If you are on borderline, for example, if you have like 89.5 or something like that, okay, not quite 90, but above 89, then you can send me a email saying that, oh, I'm on the borderline. Is it possible for me to get higher grade? Then I'll look at the attendance, and then I'll look at your performance in class. And if I'm satisfied, then you'll get the higher grade. But that's just for the if you're on the borderline. Okay, but the standard cutoff for each grade is you can see that on the left-hand side. Okay. Because we have a COVID-19 crisis here, so whenever we have Zoom sessions, as I showed earlier today, you can find the access to the Zoom, the link under the announcement. Okay, I will not be sending out any emails about access to the Zoom sessions. You can just go to the announcement, get the link from there. Okay. Textbook, we already talked about those. If you have any problems, getting into my classroom, just let me know. I can help you. Okay. All right. The attendance and drop policy. If you miss accumulation of 2 weeks, which is 4 days, right? Tuesday, Thursday, then you will be dropped. Okay. Or if you miss the this week meeting, then you can also be removed. If you somehow been dropped for whatever the reason, then you will need to come talk to me so I can, keep you in the roster. Okay. You are going to need a calculator. Okay. We're going to do a lot of, number crunching. So there is the free online calculator called GeoGebra. I use that in my calculus class and stat class. So that's just, you can download it on your iPhone without costing you anything. So it's just free. So I need you to do that. You will be able to use that during the exam, okay, if you download it on your iPhone, okay? Or you can use a TI calculator, okay, with the stat functions, okay? So if you just Google the GeoGebra, you will be able to download the free app. Okay, so I need you to do that. Makeups, there will be no makeup exams. Okay, as I already mentioned that, for the My Stat Lab homework, you still be able to access the, homeworks after the, due date, but you will have a 10% late penalty, but there will be no makeup on the exams. Now, I know that, some students, have they are in situation that they just cannot take the test on the scheduled date, then you just need to make a arrangement with me to take it earlier, or or come up with some sort of solution to your situations there. Okay, that goes the same for the if you're athletes, then you're just going to tell me so we can make arrangements. My Stat Lab and the homework and the quiz. Okay, we don't have a quiz here, so I'm just going to delete this part here. Okay, just gonna be my style lab homework. Okay. This is the my course ID that you will need in order to access the my style lab. So I don't know why you still have a my style lab quiz there. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete them. Give me a second. You don't have a quiz in the my math lab. Okay. So you just have my style lab homework. Okay. All right, so we're gonna have in-class face-to-face exams. There will be no, unless something happens that, we're gonna be using the Zoom session for, I don't know, next 3-4 weeks, then we might end up taking the first exam, using Zoom. But as of now, we're just gonna do this first week, and the beginning next week, we're gonna be in classroom. So all the exams are going to be in face-to-face. Okay. And the when you come to take the exams, okay, you're allowed to use any resources. Okay. You are not allowed to use any resources except the MyStel lab. Okay. So if you for example, if you were taking the first exam, you're allowed to use the my style app plus the your calculator. Okay. So anything that how to use in the my style app, you can use it. I mean, you can look at the textbook, e-textbook, if you want to use it, that's fine. But as long as you have access to the style app, you are allowed to use the style app. Okay, so it's more like an open book and open notes, right? But you cannot use physical textbook. Okay, so the only thing that you're allowed to use on the test day is your calculator and the access to the MyStel app. So if you want to use that, you might want to bring your laptop and use them. All right, so we do have a final exam. So it's going to be on May 4th from 8 to 10. I always get mixed up with the final exam date, but I think that's correct. We're still going to have, since we're going to have, face-to-face exam, all this honest policy will be in effect. Okay, so cheating and plagiarism is a big problem here. So I haven't had any incidents, so we're gonna keep that way. There are some things that I want you to read, like consequences for disruptive behavior, the student expectations. Okay. We are not going to have any, hopefully, because this is just a 1-week thing. And if we do move on to the online Zoom, then I'll give you additional information on what is required before you take the test during the Zoom sessions or something like that. But for now, it's just a 1-week thing, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. If you do require a special accommodation, you're gonna have to let me know so we can make arrangement for you. Okay. So here's the what we're going to cover on each exam here. So exam 1, we're going to cover 1.2, 1.3. So it's more like a couple of sections from section chapter 1. And then we have 3 sections from chapter 2. And then we have 3 sections from chapter 3, and then we have chapter 4. Although it looks a lot, but it's not really that much because some of the sections are not that long. Okay, so that will be types of data, frequency of data, then measures of a center, measures of a position, probability, and the what else is there? Yeah. Okay. And then the exam 2 is going to be chapter 5 and 6. So there will be discrete distribution and the normal distribution. And exam 3 is going to be estimation and the hypothesis testing. And exam 4 will be the correlation, regression, and one-way ANOVA. Now that would be a take home. Okay. Next Tuesday, as I mentioned, we're going to have Monday schedule on next Tuesday. That's what I was told. So if you hear something different, let me know so I can make adjustment, but that's what I told. We'll have Monday, Tuesday, February 21 and 22, President's holiday. Then we have spring recess on March 14 through 18. And then April 15 through 18, which is Easter recess, but that's just from Friday to Monday. Okay, so then we have drop deadlines here. So if you don't want to do anything with your your transcript, you don't have anything on that, and you want to drop this, then it's going to be on 19th. So which is what, next week? Yeah. But you can, stay in the class, and if you decide to drop with a W grade, it's going to be on April 8th. Okay. So first exam is going to be on February 1st. Now these days I'm trying to be more flexible there. So if anything happens with the school, let's say they decide to, we're gonna stay a couple of more weeks with a Zoom, then some of these exam dates may be changed. But for now, this is what we got. So first exam is going to be on February 1st. Second is going to be March 1st. Third one is going to be on March 5th. And the last exams, you have to bring it back on the April 26th. Okay, and the final exam is going to be on May 4th, 8 to 10. All right. Are there any questions? I know I went over a lot of stuff here, but are there any questions? Okay. So what we're going to do now is that I am going to have a breakout session here. So there is, if I go back, so there's, I want you to do is, we're going to go through the first day journal here. Okay, so I want you, this is also in the your Canvas on the files. Okay, so we are going to have a breakout session here. Let's see. So we'll have let's see, 10. Okay. Hang on a second there. I'll just. Oh. So why don't we go through the first day journal? I'm probably going to give you maybe 20 minutes. So then I want you to take a break. And then we'll come back here at 9:25. Okay. And then I want to go over a little bit on the types of data definitions. Okay. So I want you to make sure that go through, your group. And then when you finish, okay, submit this under the extra credit assignment number 1. Okay. You can take a picture if you like, or scan it as a PDF, but you're gonna have to answer all the 4 questions, okay, and make sure you submit it under the extra credit assignment 1. Let me just write that here, 1. Okay, and then come back to the main room here. Of course, you're gonna have to upload the your thumbnail picture to Canvas as well. Questions before we go to the breakout room? Okay, so I'm going to put you guys into the breakout room here. Okay. Okay. So we'll come back to the main room at 9:25. Okay, after the first day journal, take a break, come back to this room at 9:25. All right, here we go. Hmm?
Professor Yi,
Mm-hmm.
so I was emailing you earlier. My name is Charlie, and I'm first on the wait list.
Oh, Charlie Bloom? Okay.
Yes, yeah. I
Uh-huh.
was emailing you earlier. I think you can add me on WebAdvisor to the course. I just have to fill out and add a drop form from the registrar office.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I can add
yeah.
you.
Okay.
I just need the ID, but uh because you are on the wait list, I had to remove you because I have a room, and then I was going to ask you to register through the school. But yeah, I can add you, but
Okay.
or you can just
Okay.
stop by next week, then I sign the ad form. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm just not on the canvas yet.
Okay. So let me see. I'll try to add you today. Okay. So if you have access to it. If not, then I'll send you the link for the next Zoom session on Thursday.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we're gonna watch the short video here. So this kind of tells you the okay, give me a second. Let me answer the yes. I'm just Jan had a question about submitting the first day journal. Yeah, you're gonna have to submit it to extra credit assignment one. You can use iPhone to take a picture and submit it if that's what you want. Yeah. All right, so let's just watch this one. This kind of, it tells you what's happening, what will be happening when you study statistic, and kind of gives you a basic idea what statistic is. Okay, so if you want, there are some other, videos are probably going to use in the classroom, but if you want to watch it, then you just have to go to learner.org, and I also give you the link of this site in the Canvas. If you go to the files, okay, then you will see the video link under there. All right, so here we go. It's not that long. It's about 10 minutes.
Hello, I'm Party Savetti, and this is Against All Odds, where we make statistics account. I'm a computational geneticist, which means I spend a lot of time trying to find patterns in piles and piles of data. I like to think of myself as a but I need a way to figure out if what I think is a pattern really is. And that's when I turn to statistics. It's a way to organize and analyze the data I've gathered and draw conclusions from what I've found. For me, statistics is essential for my work. But statistics certainly isn't just a fancy scientific tool useful only to PhDs. Statistics is vital to people at all levels of fields as wide-ranging as business, medicine, agriculture, politics, and yes, all kinds of sciences, including engineering. Even if winning a Nobel Prize in science isn't one of your long-term goals, understanding statistics is an important part of being an informed citizen and being able to evaluate decisions that affect you. Statistical literacy is a crucial part of modern life. Here in Against All Odds, we'll show you how statistics is being done out in the world by real people. Military personnel measuring soldiers to find out what sizes of gear today's army requires. Clerical workers analyzing salaries to fight for a fair pay structure. Resource managers predicting how much water they'll have in the spring based on how much snowpack they measure in the winter. These examples all use descriptive statistics. They collect, organize, and summarize the data and do calculations to figure out what story it can tell. A big part of descriptive statistics is presenting the data in an informative way. And Against All Odds, we'll learn a variety of techniques to tease visual meaning from stacks of numbers. And you'll see statistics is flexible enough to apply in all kinds of contexts, from hot dog calorie counts to a city's census findings to bird migration dates. Once we get a handle on descriptive statistics, Against All Odds continues on to inferential statistics. Inference is a powerful way to draw conclusions about a population based on just a sample. Again, we'll go on location. We'll see how factories like this potato chip plant sample their products for quality control. After all, they can't test the quality of every chip, or they'd have nothing left to sell. At a survey center, pollsters sample citizens and estimate the entire public's opinion. Since it's possible to ask every single American how they feel about a particular issue, course, there are techniques to figure out how reliable these kinds of conclusions are. We'll investigate ways to quantify our confidence level and whether the results we come up with are actually significant. Is there a real difference in the daily calories used by hunter-gatherers versus Western office workers? Did Shakespeare really write a newly discovered poem? Was the chemical DD2 responsible for crushing urban falcon population? Stay tuned and you'll see how statistics helps answer these questions. We'll talk about probability too. That's the mathematical way of thinking about chance behavior. So come with us to the casino to learn about the odds of winning at the table. We'll also look at how probability helped the analysis of what went wrong when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded, and how probability can assess the chance that a genetic trait shows up in one family's children. Against all odds will provide you with a strong foundation to understand the statistics you'll encounter in your own life. Just reading the day's news, it's important to be able to decide whether the numerical claims in an article are reasonable. Does what you see in a chart or graph make sense? Sometimes you'll be faced with a choice, along with data that can help inform your decision. You'll want to know how to weigh the information for the recommended medical result, or the finding that only 30% of graduates in a certain major find jobs in their field right away. Or maybe you just want to put together a winning fantasy football team based on all the players' stats. We're confronted with these kinds of data points all the time. Understanding how statistics works lets you use this kind of information effectively. We live in a world of endless variability, and statistics is the art and science of making sense of it all. Gathering, organizing, analyzing, and drawing conclusions from data is the name of the game. Stick with Against All Odds, and we'll show you how it's done in schoolwork, in careers, and in life. I'm Purdy Savetti, and I'm excited to be your guide for this series. Stay tuned.
Okay, any questions? We all right? All right, then I'll see you guys on Thursday. Okay, make sure that you submitted the first day journal to extra credit assignment. Okay, see you Thursday.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Professor Yi, I got a quick question.
Uh-huh. Go
For I just took a screen snip of like me changing my profile picture. Is that all right? And I just attach it to the file that I used for like,
you mean like thumbnail picture?
yeah.
You need to go to you know, the canvas settings. You should be able to upload your picture to that, you know.
Yeah, I did that, and then I just took a screenshot of that, and then I put it in like my Word document that I have all
Oh
the
yeah,
other
that's
photos
yeah.
of.
That's
That's fine. All right.
Yeah,
All
that's
right, cool.
fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye.